are so heartfelt. Misinformation causing distress, got youths crying out, we need some help. So we reach out with a brand new vibe, keep you entertained while giving you stats. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Big chats, great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. That's right, we back on the movement. Fresh new season, fresh new blueprint. Talking about issues facing our youths, inspiring the nation, delivering truth on violence, poverty, sexual health, and a lot more topics that are so heartfelt. Misinformation causing distress, got youths crying out, we need some help. So we reach out with a brand new vibe, keep you entertained while giving you stats. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Big chats, great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. That's right, we back on the movement. Fresh new season, fresh new blueprint. Talking about issues facing our youths, inspiring the nation, delivering truth on violence, poverty, sexual health, and a lot more topics that are so heartfelt. Misinformation causing distress, got youths crying out, we need some help. So we reach out with a brand new vibe, keep you entertained while giving you stats. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Big chats, great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. That's right, we back on the movement. Fresh new season, fresh new blueprint. Talking about issues facing our youths, inspiring the nation, delivering truth on violence, poverty, sexual health, and a lot more topics that are so heartfelt. Misinformation causing distress, got youths crying out, we need some help. So we reach out with a brand new vibe, keep you entertained while giving you stats. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Big chats, great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. That's right, we back on the movement. Fresh new season, fresh new blueprint. Talking about issues facing our youths, inspiring the nation, delivering truth on violence, poverty, sexual health, and a lot more topics that are so heartfelt. Misinformation causing distress, got youths crying out, we need some help. So we reach out with a brand new vibe, keep you entertained while giving you stats. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Big chats, great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, issues facing our youth, inspiring the nation, delivering truth on violence, poverty, sexual health, and a lot more topics that are so heartfelt. Misinformation causing distress, got youths crying out, we need some help, so we reach out with a brand new vibe. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, called it Big Chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, called it Big Chats. That's right, we back on the movement.
Good morning and welcome to Big Chats. My name is Dominique Morales. I'm Courtney Duran, and on this season we have a lot of interesting new things, including our new TV station, Channel 5. Yes, you're streaming live. We're also streaming live on Facebook on our Big Chats page. Go and like the page, guys, and also on YouTube. And we have a new game.
Yes, we have. In addition to those new things we have going, we have a new game, and our communications corner, Ms. Crystal King, will introduce that.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Crystal King here in the communications corner. I must say, guys, I'm really excited, especially for our new game. It's called Kahoot, and for you all to join, which the prize is $50 phone credits, you must go to kahoot.it. kahoot.it. Upon entering on the website, you enter the PIN code 585408. Okay? After that, you have to enter a short nickname just for a identification purpose. So, for example, I would put for my name K_King. Okay? Okay. Okay, you have 20 seconds for each question. Let's start. Sex refers to biological status as male or female. You may choose the diamond for the triangle for yes, or the diamond for no. Once again, you may choose the triangle for yes and a diamond for no. Okay, we have 6 out of 7 people answering that question correct. Move on to our next question. Okay, we have Ver in lead. Okay. Next. Gender refers to the social and physiological dimensions of being female or male. Once again, that triangle for yes and diamond for no. Okay, well, we have 4 out of 7 people getting that correct. Okay, let's see who's in lead. We have Angel. Okay, great job, Angel. Let's go on to our next question. Which Sustainable Development Goal, or SDG, focuses on gender? Okay. SDG 3 or SDG 5? Two seconds remaining. Okay, well, we have 1 person, 4 persons getting that correct, that is. Sorry. Okay, Music God is in lead. Okay. Next, is this difference based on sex or gender? Women give birth to babies, men don't. Triangle for sex or diamond for gender? Okay. Once again, Music God is in lead. Well, And our last question, is this difference based on sex or gender? Boys' voices change at puberty, girls do not. Triangle for sex and diamond for gender. Okay, well, it seems Music God is our winner for today. Congratulations. In order to claim your prize, please screenshot your winner's screen and send us on WhatsApp or Facebook to claim your prize at Chit Chat or Big Chats. That's on our Facebook. To send in for WhatsApp, you may send it to the number 604-1911. I repeat the number, 604-1911. Remember to send a screenshot with your name in the message, okay? Okay. So now we'll go on our short break, and when we return, we'll have our guest in studios. So see you guys.
Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, called it Big Chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, called it Big Chats. That's right, we back on the movement. Fresh new season, fresh new blueprint. Talking about issues facing our youth, inspiring the nation, delivering truth on violence, poverty, sexual health.
Now see these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful nights. This is 7 times right.
The BFLA Youth Center is a safe, positive place for youth.
With reading materials, games, and computers for doing research and homework. It's a place where youth can get together with other youth to build leadership and life skills. BFLA Youth Center also provides confidential, sexual, and reproductive health services for youth and counseling services for youth and parents.
You can become a member of our youth advocacy movement and be a part of our training and educational sessions and community outreach. Come join us and be a part of the BFLA Youth Center, because there is always someplace safe to be and something positive to do.
Man, oh, I got so much thing for my face. I could barely could see my face. Just cover everything. And my eyes so big. Why couldn't it be smaller? And my nose is big, like it just take up whole of my face. Oh, on the right side, I have a pretty smile. My eyes bright and it pretty and it big. These moles actually make I look kind of different, you know. I could live with that. And my nose, that passed down from all my family, so I can't change that. This is who I am.
Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, called it Big Chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building
Hi,
our
good morning.
nation.
I'm Courtney Duran, and we're back here on Big Chats. Again, we're streaming live on our Facebook page, Big Chats. The name of the page is Big Chats, and we're also on YouTube. And our channel is Channel 5, guys. And our topic for today is safer sex, and we now have our guest in studio, Miss Anna Carrillo.
Morning. Good morning. All right, so first of all, what is safer sex?
Safer sex is looking at taking the protection a little bit farther in terms of making sure that there is no exchange of bodily fluids, getting in contact with blood, vaginal secretions, semen. But you all know that we used to talk about safe sex before, because there's no guarantee that you can't get anything from safe sex. So what we are trying to do now is to promote safer sex, which means that then you take a further action to taking care of yourself.
Okay, so safer sex is basically taking the extra precaution to
So in that case, it would be like using condoms, latex condoms particularly for males. Then you have the polyurethane condoms for females. And then also encouraging people about dental dams. Because that has been around for a while, but a lot of people haven't been very open to it.
Okay, for those who are watching and not sure what are dental dams, please enlighten us more about it.
Okay, dental dam is used during oral sex. So what happened is that you get this little sheet of latex, probably a little bit smaller than this, and then it stretches to the area where you're going to be performing oral sex on. So that would be that you would then avoid having the exchange of bodily fluid, which would be either vaginal secretions entering the mouth. That would be create a barrier there.
Okay, and with this dental dam, do I have to buy an actual dental dam, or can I make one from a condom?
Oh, very good question. What happened is that dental dams are primarily used it's called dental dam. It's used by dentists during dental procedures. And then people found out that it has other uses, right? And it helps in the same process when they're doing a dental procedure, making sure that there's no exchange of anything going on, keeping the body fluids away. So in terms of if you can't find one, you can make one. So at BFLA, we do teach people how to do one. So this is, I don't have any to show you how to do it, but I'll tell you what to do. You take out the condom out of the package, make sure you do the same thing that you would do when you're using a condom. Check expiration date, make sure that it's properly stored and all of that. So then when you take out the condom, and then where the tip is, where the reservoir is, where the semen is supposed to go, you cut that off, and then you cut across. And when you open it, it would open into a sheet.
Oh, okay. All right.
And dental dams are made out of latex.
Okay.
So
what if I'm a young person who doesn't use these dental dams, condoms, practice safer sex? What are the consequences of not?
Well, that's what we would consider high-risk sexual behaviors or high-risk behaviors. Because remember, when we look at safer sex, we're not only looking at the ones that are having sex, because there are infections that can be passed on by not necessarily having sex. So we talk about having close contact with someone's semen or vaginal secretions or blood. So for instance, like people, when we talk about people who are at higher risk, are people who have multiple sexual partners. So for instance, if you're a young person and you're not using condoms any at all, and you're having multiple sexual partners, I'm not saying, you know, in one night, but I'm talking in terms of space.
It could be within months.
It could be within months and so forth. And if you haven't gotten tested, that also increases the possibility of contracting STIs or contracting another one.
And then when you say multiple sex partner, it could not only be the person as well, it could be the person's partner.
Yeah.
So that's why we encourage.
Yes. So one of the things that we find out is that people say, oh, I'm in a relationship, I'm a faithful relationship, all is well, and but if you don't have the communication to find out what the person's past history is, because that too puts you at risk. Right? For instance, you have to ask your partner, have you been tested? Have you had an STI before? And if you had, which type? Is it a viral? Is it a bacterial? Because then you would then have to differentiate, okay, well, is this worth going through? And also talking to them about how many sexual partners you have. And then many times when I talk to young people, they say, oh, miss, we can't ask those things because they're not private things. what is more private than taking care of your own yourself? So I always tell them, take care of yourself first, because then you are the person who is most at risk, because you don't know.
It's very important to have that open line of communication with your partner, so everybody knows where they're at and everybody knows where we can start from in a relationship.
And then something too that what we would classify as a higher risk would be like the use of substance and alcohol. A lot of times young people take risks, party hard, and they take risks. So they look at this fine young lady and they'll be like, look clean. And then they look at the guy and he probably look buff and all of that. And they're like, you know, he look like he got a gym, he had to take care of himself. But you don't know what's underneath. You don't know what is inside of that person. So that's what puts, you know, so when you're in these situations, avoid getting high or making decisions about having sex when you're high so that you can reduce your risk.
How do we know when we're ready for sex? For young people who haven't had sex before, how can they know when they're ready for sex?
That's a tricky question, you know, because then directly I went to say age and then they carry me to court. And then like, somebody said, but the lady said, you know, you can have sex at any time. What we talk at BFLA is make sure that when you are deciding to have sex, it's what you want for yourself. It's not, you're not being forced to want it. Also, one of the biggest components is the age of consent for sex, which is 16. I know a lot of people have said, oh, you need to go up higher, you need to wait at 18, and somebody told me the other day 21. So, but you have to take into consideration all of these things. When we talk to young people, we have to assess that they know what the risks involved in having these, practicing in these behaviors. I mean, sex. Especially if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't have no level of protection, that's where, or you don't have no plan either. Sometimes some people would say, oh, well, I never made a plan to have sex, and it just happened, and you're like, right? But, but you have to know what you're going to put in your plan. Also have realistic goals. Set your limits. How far is too far? What are you willing to compromise? What you're willing to do, what not to do. Also with that, make sure that you have a partner that you are able to communicate these things with, that they can understand your standpoint, and then also you respect their standpoint. Because a lot of times when we have situations, you would have where one partner is encouraging or is driving the conversation or the actions towards having sex. And then a lot of times you'll have the reluctant partner, and it could be a male too, you know. Because sometimes I say mostly females, but you have a lot of males too where be like, I'm not ready for this, or I know I need to get to know you better, and everybody will say, oh, you soft.
We do have some aggressive females as well. So.
Yes, there are quite a few aggressive young ladies out there, and but I always say education is important, and it's make sure that you know what you're going to get yourself caught up to. Also, when you look at these, when you're ready, you have to also think about the consequences of the behavior that you're going to do. Is it being approved by your parent? A lot of time young people have sex and nobody know. There's a study that came out from the National AIDS Commission, which is the Knowledge, Attitude and Practices. I think it was 2014. Yes. And then there was quite a large number of young persons that were interviewed. I think it was about 60% of that participated had said that they were having sex or already had sex. So these are things that you need to know before you go and get yourself caught up into situations. Make a plan. Know what works and doesn't work for you.
It's always good to have a plan, and if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. So right now,
we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue into this hot topic.
Thank you, Miss Anna.
Greater action by youths for youths building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, called it Big Chats. Great vision, greater action by youths for youths building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, called it Big Chats. That's right, we back on the movement. Fresh new season, fresh new blueprint. Talking about issues facing our youths, inspiring the nation, delivering.
else, man? Oh, I got so much thing on my face. I could barely could see my face. Just cover everything. And my eyes so big. Why couldn't it be smaller? And my nose. It's big, like it just take up whole of my face. Oh. On the right side, I have a pretty smile. My eyes bright and pretty and big. These moles actually make I look kind of different, you know. I can live with that. And my nose, that passed down from all my families, so I can't change that. This is who I am.
I see these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful nights. This is 7 times right.
The BFLA Youth Center is a safe, positive place for youth. With reading materials, games, and computers for doing research and homework. It's a place where youth can get together with other youth to build leadership and life skills. BFLA Youth Center also provides confidential, sexual, and reproductive health services for youth and counseling services for youth and parents.
You can become a member of our youth advocacy movement and be a part of our training and educational sessions and community outreach. Come join us and be a part of the BFLA Youth Center because there is always someplace safe to be and something positive to do.
What else, man? Oh, I got so much thing on my face. I could barely could see my face. Just cover everything. And my eyes so big. Why couldn't it be smaller? And my nose. It's big, like it just take up whole of my face. Oh. On the right side, I have a pretty smile. My eyes bright and pretty and big. These moles actually make I look kind of different, you know. I can live with that. And my nose, that passed down from all my families, so I can't change that. This is who I am.
Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling it big chats. Great vision, greater action.
Again, we're here with Miss Anna Carrillo from the Belize Family Life Association. She's a youth officer, and we're just discussing safer sex. I want to remind you before we get back into the conversation that our lines are now open for you guys to text in. That number is 604-1911, and our communications person, Miss Krista, will be happy to answer any of your questions. Please be reminded too that our Facebook page is also, the show is also being streamed live on the Facebook page. That's BIGGCHATZ. And we're also on YouTube. So let's get back in the conversation with Miss Anna.
So again, we're talking about safer sex. So Miss Anna, you mentioned earlier that at times we don't know that we're ready for sex, but because we have, and in the heat of the moment, everything just happens, and after sex happens, the reality is that the male or female might left the relationship. So what are the emotional effects of sex?
All right. A lot of times, because we all are trying to look for love, we are all trying to find somebody to like us, and because of all this all the media pressures on sex, and these things on TV that you find your Prince Charming, and it's love at first sight, and all of those things, people have these ideas that this is probably how they would want it to happen.
Especially on Lifetime.
Especially on Lifetime, true. And also, I remember somebody told me that, you know, when they were planning to lose their virginity, they were thinking that it's going to be this bed with rose petals and everything else, and guess where it ended up? Behind the bleachers at the stadium. So, you know, like, these things don't work out how they plan, and then what happened? You set yourself up now, then what? Yeah. Now you have where people say you stalk them because you send them a leave message and say, I just check in and see how you do. Maybe you know you want to leave some later on, but you just check and leave text. And then people, then the male or the female feel pressured then, and they're like, watch out, this is a one-time deal, and they don't realize what they took away from you. Especially when you look at virginity. A lot of people have these ideas, or it is a good moral value that comes from family. If you want to delay, then you delay. Nothing is wrong with abstinence and delaying sex, right? So sometimes, like, emotionally, you get yourself all caught up expecting that there's the emotions that you are giving, it will be returned. A lot of times, especially when it's not in a relationship, you don't get it. Also, it affects, let's say if you're in a relationship and it's based on sex, and all you do is sex, and you don't know what it is to go to the store or go out and have coffee, or any, you know, you don't have to go on a movie date. The other day somebody said, I thought that Netflix and chill, you know, a normal thing, and I put it on my Facebook, and everybody be like, Miss Anna, you know, do them thing, because everybody know where they go on their business, and I'm like, what that's for? And then,
really mean.
Yeah, what it really mean? And then I'm like, oh well, too late, it's there, right? But those are the things that, because it affects how you're going to then work with each other in terms of, is it a relationship? You never did ask the guy, maybe you didn't even know what I name. Okay. It was just a
one-time fling thing. He looked good.
One night stand and thing done, and you think, call you back.
Yeah, well, I'm hot, you're hot, why not kind of moment. All right, so I heard you mention abstinence. Is abstinence just for people who have never had sex, or can I abstain if I've had sex before? How does it work?
All right, so what we talk about, when we say abstinence, we talk about delay of initiation, which is the first time. And also where you can go back and say, hey, this sex thing was a little bit too intense for me, I wasn't prepared. Then you can go and then delay and say, I'm going to wait, I'm going to see maybe when I'm a bit older. You know what happens many times? They get the first scare. The period doesn't come. And then they start make all these plans that I was stop do this, and Jesus just make me period come down, and you know, I cannot be pregnant, and then all of those things, and then they make these plans. Some of them go to church. People do a lot of life-changing things when these things happen to them. So it's about knowing when it's the time. I mean, I won't say when it is, you know, but you need to.
They don't know that pregnancy isn't the worst thing that could happen to you. There are much more worse things that could happen than pregnancy.
I always tell people that, you know,
just temporary.
Like if you get a sexually transmitted infection, it can stay with you for the rest of your life.
And it can happen the first time.
And it can happen the first time, and then in many instances it can happen where you get pregnant and get an STI. So those are the things that they have to think about. With abstinence, a lot of people make decisions for themselves. This is something for oneself. This is not something where you're going to make for Courtney or something like that.
And again, you always have to know yourself first before you could actually venture off to letting someone else know your body. So
you have to know your own body.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be.
Don't let friends pressure you into having sex and you're not ready. You be your own person and just say no if you don't want to.
Yeah. There's a new movement. It's called the movement has been going on towards consent, because they say if it sounds like a yes or a half yes, then it's a yes. Or when you have mixed messages sometimes. But consent is like, Dominic, do you want to have sex?
No.
No. Then no means no, right?
Okay.
Okay.
So you have any last words? Anything pressing that you wanted to share that we didn't ask you? Anything like that?
What I would want the young people to know, that they have to know what they want, and they have to make these plans. It sounds too much work, but in the longer run it pays off.
Yeah.
And you have to know what are your goals in life. Do you want to be a doctor, and what are you doing to reach to be a doctor? And then also include there a sex plan. If I'm going to have sex, then let me use protection. Also think about what other protections are out there. Know what are the laws. Get to be informed. We have our youth group at BFLA. It's called Belize, Youth Advocacy Movement.
Very familiar.
And we encourage that young people come, and also we encourage parents to come in so that they can see what type of discussions we are having. And if you want to learn more, then they can come and by. And
okay.
Talking about life goals, when you were younger, what goals did you have as a child?
Ooh, I had a lot of goals. I once wanted to be a ballerina. Didn't have the body for it. And then I remember this lady coming to my high school for career day, and she made this whole thing about social work seem like the best job in the whole wide world, and I said that's what I wanted to do. I got close enough. I work with young people as the youth program officer at BFLA, so I am putting my little dream in your...
From our dream jar,
Yeah.
you get to choose.
Our jar of dreams.
Yes.
All right. So can you just
You can open it.
Okay.
let's put it in?
Okay.
Okay, so before you go, we need
Can
you.
reach?
We have this new thing that we do. You have to take a selfie
Okay.
Picture with
our
our frame. Or big chat
or
frame.
big chat's frame.
So, can you just
Just
we have
pose
the
for the
picture
camera.
first and ready for it? All right.
Okay.
All right.
So thanks again, Miss Anna.
Thank you for everything. I'm sure, like us, our viewers learned. So we'll move over now to the communications corner. Miss Crystal.
Okay, we have our first giveaway for the day, and that the person will win 2 barbecue, courtesy Tony's Barbecue. And our first question is, what does safer sex mean? Okay, I repeat, what does safer sex mean? You can text in your answer to the number 604-1911. I repeat, 604-1911. What does safer sex mean? And include in the text message your first and last name as well. Okay, first person to text in or even message us on our Facebook page at Yam or Big Chats. And the first person with the correct answer wins 2 barbecue from Tony's Barbecue. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Krista, for that question. I hope everybody participates. Now we're going into the segment Bedsider.
Listen, we're all men here, right? Let's stop playing games. I ain't your nanny. Let's face it, most guys don't know jack squat about how birth control works. You're making sweet, sweet love and there's no babies to show for it. Poof. It's like magic. Well, I don't like magic. It's weird. Think about it. Would you drive a car without knowing where the gas pedal is? Would you watch a football game without knowing who the underdog was? Would you attempt to forge a slab of steel to copper rings without having the proper welding gear? No. Get this. 1 in 5 guys think that standing up while having sex is a viable method of contraception. 1 in 4 guys believe that a woman douching after sex can prevent pregnancy, while 1 in 2 guys think it's pretty awesome that I just say douching with a straight face. And 78% of guys admit that they don't know anything about the pill. Women love a well-informed man. And the better informed you are about the methods of birth control, the better she'll be at keeping you baby free. So I'm going to lay this out there once and for all. Look, I'm gonna go ahead and assume you've already gotten the talk. Birds and the bees, when two people love each other, yeah. We're talking sex, right? And when that sex involves a penis and vagina, add a dash of sperm, then blammo. It's baby time. Now, in order for a woman to become pregnant, the sperm and the egg need to rendezvous. When a man ejaculates, the sperm launches into the woman's vagina. Then let the games begin. The sperm cells begin their journey. A journey that can take up to 5 days. I've scaled mountains, reconstructed entire plumbing systems, and taught myself Italian in that amount of time. Your little soldiers have to make it up through her cervix, into her uterus, and onward through her fallopian tubes. And if an egg's released at any time during this expedition, one of those sperm might have a shot meeting up with that all-precious egg. Many will try, few will succeed. If one of those sperm manages to become one with the egg, and the newly spermified egg manages to implant itself in the wall of the uterus, the woman's body sends out a hormonal signal that'll stop her from getting her period. The same signal that triggers a pregnant reading on your pregnancy test. 9 months later, you've got a baby on your hands. Who's next?
I see these are some serious times. All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful nights. This is 7 times right.
The BFLA Youth Center is a safe, positive place for youth. With reading materials, games, and computers for doing research and homework. It's a place where youth can get together with other youth to build leadership and life skills. BFLA Youth Center also provides confidential, sexual, and reproductive health services for youth and counseling services for youth and parents. You can become a member of our youth advocacy movement and be a part of our training and educational sessions and community outreach. Come join us and be a part of the BFLA Youth Center because there is always someplace safe to be and something positive to do.
Mothers, man. Oh, I got so much thing for my face. I could barely could see my face. Just cover everything. And my eyes so big. Why couldn't it be smaller? And my nose. It's big, like it just take up whole of my face. Oh. On the right side, I have a pretty smile. My eyes bright and pretty and big. These moles actually make I look kind of different, you know. I can live with that. And my nose, that passed down from all my families, so I can't change that. This is who I am.
Big shots, great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation.
The show that is not afraid to tackle the issues that you care about. The show that is inspired and created by youth for youth. The show that gives you what you've been asking for. The show that gives you a voice. Tune in and log on to Big Chats.
Premieres Saturday, October 22nd at 11 a.m. live on Channel 5.
Welcome back to Big Chats. Our special guest for today is
Tim's from Beauty by Tim's on Facebook.
And here with us today we also have Miss Michelle Bowman. She'll be getting a whole new makeover. That's right, a whole new makeover. Miss Michelle, are you ready?
Sure am.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay, we're going to start off. Firstly, when you're doing makeup, you want to start off with a fresh face. Moisturized. Today I'm going to be using a skin milk that I picked up from Brode's, super cheap, and it's amazing. So we're just going to do that moisturize her face. You don't want too much. So gently moisturize the face. Make sure it's nice and clean before you apply your makeup. And of course, my hands are clean.
Miss Timms, I'm aware that they have various shapes of brows. How do you go about determining the shape?
The way I personally determine a shape is by the client's bone structure itself. So I would take a pencil, a brush, anything skinny and long, and I would start at her nostril. That's the start of her eyebrows, and the ending of her eyes to determine where it ends. As for the arch, it would be definitely from the nostril directly across the eye to the middle section of the eyebrow itself. So now, I've cleaned up her brows, and as you can see, Michelle's eyebrows quite curly and very full. Lovely eyebrows, by the way. So I'm just going to brush that in place and clip any excess hair that we don't need today. Very nervous. Brush it in place. And we're going to fill it in with a gel pomade.
For those like myself who don't know how to do or freestyle their own brows, is stencil a good idea?
Stencil is an amazing idea. You just make sure your brows is clean. You hold it with both fingers on the face, and I highly suggest you use a powder to just fill it in, because if you use a pencil, it can be quite harsh. And make sure you use a spoolie to blend everything out together. And a spoolie is just like a little brush. You can use an old mascara wand and make sure you just blend everything in like so, just so it looks very natural. Because Michelle's eyebrow is very curly, I'm going to use a brow gel. Doesn't have to be any specific color, and you just sweep it through. Now this part is probably my favorite part. I'm going to take a concealer slightly lighter than Michelle's skin tone on a flat shader brush, and I'm going to highlight just underneath the brow.
I've noticed earlier you placed a dark tinting on her brows. Tell us more about that.
The tinting is basically I have several shades. I tend to go with Michelle. She has nice dark skin, so I went with a very darker one. And what that does, that fills in the brows and make it look very natural. Fill in any sparse areas and just make the brow look fabulous. Basically perfect. Okay.
For some people, they use the eye pencil, but are there other options in shading their brows?
Yes, there is. You can use pencils, powders, gels, and there's also liquid ones nowadays in the form of mascaras. If you're starting fresh and new as a beginner, I highly suggest you use a powder, only because that's easy to use, or a pencil. Just make sure you blend it out really well with a spoolie, like I showed you earlier. Okay, so today we're going to move on with Michelle a day look. So something very natural, basic, that you can wear to school, to work. So just make sure she's not sweating. It's very hot, so you don't want to overdo her face. So as a primer, I'm going to use a concealer, very lightweight concealer, and put it out over the lid. Just so the eyeshadow can stick to the concealer and you get more of a vibrant look out of it altogether. I'm just blending it out, and I want to set that concealer with any powder very similar to Michelle's skin tone. You would want to do the same thing as well. It helps you with blending. You don't want your makeup to look very patchy and it's just too much for the face altogether. Grabbing a blending brush and for Michelle's skin tone, a dark chocolate brown would be her neutral color to her skin tone. And I'm just going to sweep that in, windscreen wiping motion back and forth, just in the crease.
How do you go about choosing your foundation?
For foundation, when I always choose, if you go to a professional, they tend to put it on the back of your hands. I don't know why exactly they do that, but I always put it on the cheeks and try and match it as close to the neck, because that's the only thing closer to your face. I mean, if you match it to your neck, you don't have to worry about your whole body, or you're gonna have to put foundation on your entire body, and we can't really afford that. All right, so we're just gonna blend this in. And remember, a daytime makeup is something very simple. You don't need too much at all. I'm going to use a angle brush and I'm going to pick up some black eyeshadow. Always knock off the excess, you don't want it falling on your face. Close your eyes. And then just slightly touching up on her line, or just on the top of her eyes. So to speak, you're giving that like an eyeliner look, but it's not harsh.
And what not to do with your brows?
What not to do with your brows? Do not use black eyeliner, people. You want to stay away from that. You want a dark chocolate, a mocha color, anything along those lines. Just stay away from that altogether.
Okay.
You don't have to use concealer to line up your brows, because I know a lot of people in Belize love their natural look. There you go.
What are, in your opinion, what is your advice to those who wear makeup every day to keep their skin healthier?
People who wear makeup every day needs a nice and clean, fresh face every time. If you wear makeup, you have to exfoliate your face. You have to wash your face to keep it nice and clean. If you have good skin, you have good makeup, and you will look flawless.
Great. Michelle, how are you feeling? Michelle?
You like to be glammed up?
I must say I can certainly get used to it.
Right, and for foundation today, I'm going to be using a MAC liquid foundation, face and body. The only reason why I'm using this is because it's very lightweight for this weather in Belize.
Okay.
You don't want too much of it at all. You can use your fingers, just make sure it's clean, make sure your hands is clean, but I'm going to be using a flat, fluffy brush today and just pat that all over the skin. Now this foundation goes on a funny color, and that's why I love it, but a couple seconds later, it just blends into Michelle's skin tone.
And what kind of motion is that?
This is called a stippling motion. You're pressing it onto the skin, and this is a really good technique when you're like putting on layers. You don't want to blend everything into the skin, and then when you do this as well, you don't need a lot of product because this just distributes it all over the face. So there you go, and this will just give her like a nice glowy finish. Nothing too much and harsh on the face at all. Perfect for work and school. Do you plan on wearing this for the rest of the day? There you go. Just to highlight under her eyes a tiny bit, I'm going to use the same highlighter that I used for her brows. I'm just going to take that slightly underneath the eye, not too much. Don't need too much of it at all. And then just blend that out. Like so. And to set it all, you use a foundation, a powder foundation, a pressed powder, loose powder. And you want to use like a fluffy brush, something light and loose. Don't pack it all on, just very slightly sweep it over it. Remember, Belize is very hot, humid, you don't want too much. There we go. And then for blush, because Michelle has a beautiful skin tone, I am going in with the brightest pink, Barbie pink. Just this one here. It looks bright to the eyes, but when you pick up blush, you pick it up on the tip of your brush. Always knock off the excess and you smile as big as you can, Michelle, and you put it just on the cheek. We call it the apples of the cheek. So it adds back some color onto the skin. And you always take a second brush and just blend it through, just so it's not too harsh on the skin. And because this is a natural look, we're going to go in with a moisturizing lip balm. Yeah? Nothing too much at all, so I'll just have you blot that in. Yeah. I'm going to go in with a chocolate lip liner. The reason why I'm doing that, lovely skin, so all you need to do is define those lips. Not too much, you don't want to be noticed that you have too much makeup on, especially during the day. You want to look naturally pretty, you know?
I noticed some people put the black eyeliners around their lips.
That's very much that's from way back in my mom's days, but it's coming back into style with that vampy look and the ombre effect that you get. So some people, well, I do it to clients where you put the black lipstick on and you put a bright red in the middle and then you blend it all together. Okay. It's a lovely look. Just blend that all in together. Just turn to the camera and that will be a natural look for the day. It's a bit hot right now, so just bear with us. There you go. And then we're gonna transform this same look. So say if you went to work and after you want to go out for a little drink, cocktails with the friends, you can take this same look and just vamp it up a bit for a nighttime look or a clubbing look, whatever you choose to do. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to go in with slightly darker colors. I'm going to go in the crease with a dark chocolate. Okay. Dark chocolate and black. So you're just gonna pop everything. Close your eyes. Just want to define. Yeah.
Ms. Timms, what are some of the things you should be aware of when doing makeup in a particular lighting?
You have to be careful because remember, if you're doing makeup inside and it's dark, you're going to want to put more foundation on and you're not choosing the right color. So when you step outside, you're probably going to look like a ghost and you're going to look like you have a mask on, so you have to blend everything really, really well. So that's the crease darken up very quickly. Just add some black and you have to remember to blend everything out. You can't just leave it really harsh. And I'm going to go in with a bronzy color. Close your eyes. Picking it up and just patting it on to the eyes. Super easy makeup look, you can't go wrong with this one. Patting it on, I'm not rubbing it on. If you rub it on, you lose that pigmentation you want to stay there. Then I'm going to go back in and blend everything out. Okay, and then just blend it in to take away any harsh lines. And this color looks amazing on you, Michelle. And there you go. And for lips, you can make everything nice and bright. You can use any color lipstick. In the nighttime, I tend to go a little bit darker, so I'm going to be using a dark plum, that cherry look that's really out there at the moment. Yeah, so I'm just going to apply that on there for you. And you could even add that black liner with this one. This would look amazing with it, yeah. Just blot that in for me, Michelle. Together, yeah.
Again. So how do you think mine would have looked with the black eyeliner?
It would look nice. Just make sure you use a brush and blend it all in. It would look perfect.
Okay.
I won't put too much on Michelle because I know she's that natural type. Now, that's the look really. It's a shame. There you go. Have a look and then what do you think? Just put it like this down to the side. There you go. Any other questions?
Ms. Timms, what are some of the services that you provide and how can people out there contact you?
I'm on Facebook as Beauty by Timms. You can find my page, all my services on it if you want to. I only work by appointments though, so if you want to do that, just call 629-0774 and I can definitely do something for anyone. So just let me know the occasion and I'll book you in.
One last thing. What are your thoughts on makeup for young people?
Just remember to be yourself and don't use it as something to boost your confidence or self-esteem. Use it as an accessory. You're naturally pretty, just use it to enhance your natural beauty. So there you go.
Great. How are you feeling, Michelle?
I feel excellent.
There is it, guys. Rocking Fashion by Beauty by Timms, and thank you. See you next week. Back to the Communication Corner.
Thanks, guys. So we have a winner for our first giveaway, and that person is Miss Shanta Rowley. Okay, the answer for our question, which was what does safer sex mean, is Safer sex means sexual contact that does not involve exchanging of bodily fluids, including blood, semen, and vaginal secretion from one person to another. And with that, we move on to our second question, and that is, list 2 unsafe sexual activities. The price for that question is $20 phone credits, courtesy Chit Chat. I repeat the question. List 2 unsafe sexual activities. You can text in your answer to our number at 604-1911 and include your first and last name in the text as well. Okay, and with that, Miss Shantia Rowley, you may pick up your prize here at 2621 Mercer Lane during normal working hours between the days of Monday to Friday. Okay, and please bring along an identification card when you come to claim your prize. And so we move on to our next segment, which is My Changing Body. What's the deal with that? Okay.
So what's the deal with that? My changing body?
No, my changing body.
Yeah, so what I did it that?
No, for real. What did the deal with that?
What's up with all this hair?
You may have noticed hair growing in places you've never had it before, like under your arms, on your legs, and around your pubic area. It usually starts out light and fine. Then it gets thicker and darker. Body hair is normal. But if you don't like the way it looks, you can get rid of it. Ask mom or dad or an older sibling how to do it safely.
So what's the deal with that? My changing body?
No, my changing body.
Yeah, so what I did it that?
No, for real. What did the deal with that?
Man, oh, I got so much thing on my face. I could barely see my face. Just cover everything. And my eyes so big. Why couldn't it be smaller? And my nose. It's big, like it just take up whole of my face. Oh. On the right side, I have a pretty smile. My eyes bright and pretty and big. These moles actually make I look kind of different, you know. I can live with that. And my nose, the passed down from all my families, so I can't change that. This is who I am.
I see these are some serious signs. All I can see around us is just violence and crime. Full time for us to centralize, socialize, and realize. So let the sun shine throughout every day. Let the moon shine through the peaceful nights. This is 7 times right.
The BFLA Youth Center is a safe, positive place for youth. With reading materials, games, and computers for doing research and homework. It's a place where youth can get together with other youth to build leadership and life skills. BFLA Youth Center also provides confidential, sexual, and reproductive health services for youth and counseling services for youth and parents. You can become a member of our youth advocacy movement and be a part of our training and educational sessions and community outreach. Come join us and be a part of the BFLA Youth Center because there is always someplace safe to be and something positive to do.
Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, called it Big Chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for
Was
youths,
My
building our
Changing
nation.
Body, and Before we close off, we just want to go to Crystal King, where we have our winner for our second and last question.
Okay, our winner for our second question, well, our last giveaway, that is Miss Angelique Reyes. Congratulations, you just won yourself $20 phone credit, courtesy Chit Chat. And just to give a couple of the answers, we have having unprotected vaginal, oral, or anal sex, engaging in any activity that allows blood contact, or having multiple sex partners. That's just to name a few of our answers. Okay, so congratulations to both of our winners and to our winner for the $50 phone credit for our new game. And just a reminder, you can pick up your prize at 2621 Mercer Lane during normal working hours between the days of Monday to Friday. And also, please bring along an identification card when you come to claim your prize. Okay, with that, I would like to also give our points to remember. Okay, on this episode of Big Chats, we learned that sexual relationships present risk. Avoiding sex, aka abstinence, is a very good way to postpone taking those risks until you are better able to handle them. Just a few tips. Communicate your limits. Once you set your limits, it is important that you share your feelings with your partner. And avoid high-risk situations. Sticking to your limits becomes easier by avoiding situations such as going to an unsupervised party where you may feel pressure to have sex. And also, safer sex is about protecting ourselves while we have sex and the ones we love. We can use it to reduce our risk of getting STDs or unintended pregnancies. Safer sex is for situations such as Safer sex is for responsible people who care about themselves and their partner's pleasure and health. On this show, we could improve the quality of life for a young person if we give them the right information and supporting environment in which they could talk to others about what they're going through. Some resources are available at the Belize Family Life Association. They provide life skills, personal development programs, and opportunities to ensure that young people develop into productive and responsible adults. Join the youth advocacy movement today by visiting any affiliate center near you. And remember that you could keep on learning about sexual health topics through the Chit Chat Teen Helpline service by simply texting the word SAFE text to 604-1911 to get engaged through weekly activities and tips, or simply ask a question. The service is anonymous, private, confidential, and accessible with your SMS bundles. So with that, guys, thanks for tuning in to Big Chats, and hope to see you next week.
All right, guys. Thank you, Crystal, for that lovely wrap-up. I must say today was a very educational day. I learned a lot, even from the rocking fashions, I must say.
I definitely know how to do my brows now, so.
Yeah. Going back to the conversation with Ms. Anna, though, I think that was a very necessary conversation.
Especially for our young people out there.
Yes, a very honest conversation. So it all comes down, I feel, to communicating, talking to your partner, knowing yourself, talking to your partner, and just educating yourself so you can make empowered moves with your sexual health.
And also knowing your own limits as a person, and knowing what you want to do and saying no. At the end of the day, it's all about you saying no, whether you want to or not. And all of these things, guys, we learn here at YAM, so feel free to join our group. We are recruiting new members, and these are some of the many nice topics we talk about, and all the unanswered questions that you may have, we also talk about in our YAM group. So feel free to join us. And Dominique, this comes to the end of our show. You have any last words?
Well, I want to mention YAM is having a fundraiser. So if you need a goodie bag for Halloween for a kid or for some special person in your life, just stop by Be Affiliate, text us, call us, whatever. We'll be happy to accommodate you. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. See you next week.
And before we go, the show will repeat tomorrow on the same channel, Channel 5, and it will be like repeating 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Sorry. So thank you for choosing Big Chats. Join us again next week, and we're out.
That's right, we back on the movement. Fresh new season, fresh new blueprint. Talking about issues facing our youth, inspiring the nation, delivering truth on violence, poverty, sexual health. that are so heartfelt. Misinformation causing distress, got youths crying out. We need some help, so we reach out with a brand new vibe. Keep you entertained while giving you stats. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Big chats, great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts. Youths on the movement, calling big chats. Big chats. Great vision, greater action. By youths, for youths, building our nation. Coming to you live, bringing you facts.